is very kind.
You can talk slower now.
Huh?
You'll be able to talk slower now.
No, I always tend to go over, so I'm hoping not to go over now. Thank you. We've been here before, more than once, and we keep coming back to the same subject. Council promises not being followed through. I don't know what happens in the back offices, but... So here we are again, Akaroa Cemetery Extension. Okay, so we need to press the buttons here to move on. We'll go back a little bit. So the background is I'm representing the families and the Akaroa community buried in these cemeteries. My family goes back to 1837, presence in Akaroa. This is why it's really important to the Akaroa community. For the people that live in the community, that people that feel a connection to the community, to be able to be buried in Akaroa. So, and it's been 10 years since we've been asking for this to happen. So there's several council documents that support and have been published saying they will do that for us. So here they all are. Okay, but we still haven't got it completed. The council, the Catholic Church, donated the land. So the Catholic Church has actually given the land to the council to lay out the extra burial space for the community. The families and the community have cleared the land. The council have done the archaeological assessment. We're in the design stage now, but there's no money again in the budget to complete the project. All that we need is money to lay out the land. It's a drop in the bucket for the council budget. Absolute minimal drop in the bucket. So that's what we're asking for you to do, please, because we're very soon going to run out of space in the cemetery, and I just don't want to get to the point where somebody in Akaroa that has lived there all their life is told they've got to be buried somewhere else. Tyrone, you know the story. Thank you. Okay, so here's the land. It's all cleared. Before we cleared it, and the Catholic Church said we could clear it, was covered in wilding trees. It was supposed to be maintained by the council, and it had been let go. So there is a huge amount of land. You can see the plots that are there now. Go to the left. All that land is still cemetery land. And here's the boundary. So you can see the little bit that's used. All that land has been gifted to the council for further burial space and ashes space. So there's the Cemeteries group from Akaroa, there's the Comte Descendants group, I'm connected to both, and the council. We're working at the moment with Kerry Bowen on the ground. She's the team leader in Banks Peninsula, and she's been absolutely fantastic, which is so nice after so many years of you can't do. So this is the stage where we're at now. We have only got 5 burial spaces in the Anglican cemetery left. They'll be gone within a few months. There's only 1 ashes plot left. So those people that want to be buried in the Anglican cemetery will not want to be buried in the Catholic cemetery where there's a few more spaces. What do we do with them? The land is there. The council has known for 10 years that the land is there. So we just need to get it topsoiled. Our groups would actually get a bulldozer and a digger and they'd level it and it would be easy. We could do it. So it's not going to take much just to complete the project so that these people don't miss out. These are all the documents. These are all the words from the council. Council will plan for increased need and develop new areas for cemeteries. It will provide funding for cemetery infrastructure. Additional ashes plots could be created. That's 2013 to 2016 assessment of various spaces. 2015-2025 long-term plan, the Cemeteries Activity Management Plan, will meet the needs of the people into the future and provide to accommodate a mass burial in the event of a pandemic, which we've got now. So again, requirement for council to provide cemetery space, Burial and Cremation Act 1964. and all capital and operational expenditure is directed towards a level of service that moves the community closer to this outcome, being meeting the needs of the community. So we've got it again and again in the council documents, especially this one, the 2016 Akaroa Cemeteries Existing Capacity and Future Options Report. It's a mouthful. Anyway, there is a strong desire from the local community for additional capacity to be found within the Akaroa cemeteries. That was 2016. We are now, extra plots were released to last 5 to 10 years. We're there now. There's something going on in the background that we don't understand, because we presented again in 2021 and we were told the development of the space in Akaroa is progressing. Initial investigation works are complete. Design and documentation phase is happening. That's happening now. Funding is available in the existing cemeteries budget. But funding wasn't allocated to Akaroa, it was allocated to devotional. So we say, who's making these decisions? Where is the overall oversight? None of it was to Akaroa. So the majority of the population, the land and the need is in Akaroa. So why was this money given to devotionals, which is well laid out? No obvious need. So why should we progress now? The need is there, the land is available, it's been gifted to the council, didn't cost them anything. It was cleared by the community, didn't cost the council anything. This is the community whose ancestors, families and friends are buried in the cemetery. They want to be buried alongside their family and friends. There's an ageing community, as we all know, in Akaroa. It's a great retirement spot, and we've got a pandemic. So it's important that the community be able to be buried alongside their family members and friends in their own hometown. So these are the concepts of whakapapa and tūranga waiwai, which we all know. It relates to all of us, regardless of our ethnicity. So all we need now is that final little drop of money to level the land and mark out the plots. We'll be done. I know you'll do it, please, thank you. We need to. It would be absolutely heartbreaking if somebody in Akaroa was told they had to be sent somewhere else to be buried. Devotionals doesn't cut it, it's not their community.
Thank you.
Yep.
Tyler had a question.
2 quick ones.
Yep.
Kia ora, thank you so much for that. It was really insightful. I do understand the point of whakapapa and tūranga waiwai. And in light of that, how much is that going to cost to rest our loved ones in that area?
Minimal, absolute minimal, because the Catholic Church has given the land to the council. The community has cleared it. It just needs to be graded over and mapped. That's all.
Okay. And how many extra plots does that
Hundreds.
plot clear out?
You saw the slide at the very beginning. What we've used now with that cemetery land is only a minor fraction of what is available.
I see.
It'll keep the community going for years and decades and centuries probably.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. This is an important topic.
Well, it's actually a question for you, Mr. Mayor, and for Lynn, that if we could get just an update in one of our briefing sessions on where this is at, just so we can find out before we put any money in, but if we need to, then we could. But normally cemeteries are quite self-funding because you sell all the plots. Yep. So just how that system works, give everyone a heads up, and if anything needs to happen to just progress it.
Reading my mind. Yep.
Cool.
No problem.
Thank you, because the community have always worked alongside the council. The community is very proactive and will help as much as we can.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.